Okay, let's go ahead and get started there, everybody. Welcome back to another 1 p.m. PST YouTube stream. I'm your host, Strangebird Jim. And today, let's see, we got ourselves some more Pega certification study to go through. We have the potential for the Unreal. He said that might be doing it today, so we there that might be possible. We'll wait and see, but um, from what I understand, Blackheart was going to give it a try today. So um, we'll wait to see if that is something that will happen or not. But look forward to that in the hour afterwards. Um, we have some videos to upload and make public after the hour after that. And then later on tonight, we're going to be doing some more Warframe. So that's uh, that's the roundup for today. That's what's planned. So now, for those of you that are just here for the Pega certification, whether you're right here with the stream with me right at this moment in time, or if you are watching this later on YouTube, thank you for joining me on this. Hopefully, this you find these useful. Hopefully, you help me out with the YouTube algorithm with a like and subscribe. Um, but um, let's get into who I am, what these videos are about, and what you should expect. So, um, so about me, I am currently an unemployed software developer whose last position was working with the Pega environment. Um, I was part of a group of like 20 or so peers, and we were taught by a authorized training partner to um, on the ways of what Pega is all about. Well, I say that we were taught, but in all reality, it really wasn't. Um, oh, he probably had some strengths to him, probably. Um, but we were having some issues, me and the rest of my peers. A good majority of us had, good majority, if not all of us, had gone self-study um, because we were having issues with his teaching style, and we asked him questions that he did not answer, and um, he was basically blaming everything on us when in fact, it was the environment itself that had some issues. So, um, it's just unfortunate that we had such a rough time with it. Now, you might say, well, Jim, you were clearly in the wrong here because you're students. You're going to hate your teacher. Well, here's the thing. He messed up so badly that even his coworkers knew how badly he was messing up. So, um, you know, there was one time where he instructed a, test taker, which wasn't him, um, on topics that he said that we covered, but we didn't. So, they learned very quickly that not only was he, you know, pretty bad at teaching us, but he also was willing to lie to his coworkers. So, yeah, it wasn't it wasn't great. Um, After the training session was done, there was quite a few of us that had asked to be put back into the training cycle again with another um, Pega authorized training partner to learn the Pega environment, but we were rejected. So we were basically forced into a contract right afterwards. Um, this was problematic because by that point in time, I and a couple others hadn't yet received our certification. We hadn't, you know, uh, I hadn't retaken my certification yet because the one and only time that I did take it, I knew that I wasn't ready. They were forcing me to take it. Um, I had not gotten to a point where I was satisfied with my self studies. I hadn't gotten through all the academy on that point to learn everything that I needed to learn about Pega um, to be comfortable when taking the exam. Um, so when we did, uh, so um, when I did take it, I failed it. I wasn't too surprised by that. And uh, you know, they didn't accept. They didn't put me back into the training cycle again afterwards. Um, so not much I can really do about that. Um, Now, when I was pushed into a contract, I'd hoped that maybe there would be a little bit more mentorship in the hopes that I can maybe get the certification, but that didn't happen either. So I tried to do a little bit more self-study, but um, um, it's easier for me when I have questions that I had someone like right then and there able to ask my questions like right when I had the mindset of it, you know. Um, but no mentorships from the contract job, and the most that they said was like, hey, we'll help you with answering your questions, and that was about it. So it was a very hands-off approach, and I mean, when you're a brand new worker, that, in my opinion, that shouldn't be a thing. You should at least try to gauge how much support every new worker might need. Some workers might be able to pick it up like that. Other workers might have a little bit longer to go to learn everything and process it and use what they learned. But it is what it is. Um, so this is my attempt to try to buckle down, learn everything that I can from the Pega Academy so that when I do take the certification exam again, um, I won't be aiming for the bare minimum. You know, I'll be aiming for a highly positive score, or at least that's my goal. I hope that you join me on that endeavor. But know that, I'm not an authorized training partner, and this is not meant to be an instructor-led training. Okay, I'm working towards my certification much like anybody else. Um, and so these videos aren't me like giving detailed views of everything that there is to know about Pega because I don't really know everything that there is about Pega. Okay, I'm gonna have some questions. So if anybody is watching these videos and you are veterans, then I hope that you can help me out with said questions. Um, but if you're someone that is also working towards your certification as well, I hope that you are also asking as many questions as you possibly can. You're welcome to ask, questions right now while I'm streaming in chat if you want, or in the comments of my videos. If you have questions there, then feel free to address them. Okay. And I will do my best to answer them if I can. If not, then I will go to my previous coworkers and ask them. So your questions will be answered. Okay. So just bear that in mind. Okay, but just know that um, if you're if you're here for the business architect certification, it's done. I've already covered the two missions and two modules for the business architect, so I'm obviously not going to really cover this any more than I absolutely have to. Okay, I have no interest in getting that certification in a business architect. So, but if you want to learn more about what's in these two modules here, then I highly recommend that you go and work on the Pega Express delivery here because um, 12% of your grade is all about the Pega Express delivery, and you're gonna want to know as much as you can. 12% is still a good chunk of your grade, and you're gonna need to know the Pega Express delivery through and through on that one. So, but we're gonna continue with the system architect mission. Apparently, we got 9 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah, no. We got more. Um, we have a lot more to do than just those 9 hours. So, okay. So we're going to be going on to the challenge here, the configuring security policies. Um, so let me go ahead and set up the instance on that one. Um, so we're going to be going through these various detailed tasks. Know that there is a challenge walkthrough that I will most likely ignore. Okay, I normally use this if, well, as I put it, the detailed task should be giving you A, B, and C, in order so that you can process, what's being asked of you, you know, uh, work work the problem through and through, for step B, and then, come to the final conclusion at step C. But here's the thing. If they skip step B in that set, then I'm not going to know exactly what they're talking about. So the challenge walkthrough might help me out. Might help determine what that actually is. I've used it rarely on occasions, but only if there's like a missing step or something along those lines. That's been basically my interaction with the challenge walkthrough. If you want to use it, you're welcome to, but know that the detailed tasks should be enough for you to get through everything that you need to get through on that. So, the scenario is Google Road is experiencing a large number of failed login attempts. Management suspects that the attempts are malicious attacks by the internet bot. Management has asked you to implement a new security requirement. After the first failed login attempt, the user cannot make additional attempts without further verification. After each attempt, the user must wait for a progressively longer period before making another attempt. The first failed attempt is delayed by 5 seconds. After the first failed login attempt, display a CAPTCHA at the login page to verify that the user is a human and not an automated bot. After 2 failed attempts, enable lockout penalty to delay further login attempts in 5-second increments. So, alright, so that's that. Let's go ahead and launch that instance, which will bring up the login screen. We'll put in the author and then the password. So there we go. And then login in. So that'll take a few minutes to get through. So um, so first thing we need to do is head to Dev Studio. And we do configure organization security, authentication, and security policies to open the security policies landing page. So sorry. A little tired at this moment in time because of I was dealing with a lot in terms of the hate raid yesterday. So my mind woke me up this morning, and then it's just would not stay quiet. I need to be I need to be active, or I want it to be active. So I was tackling quite a bit. Uh, so I'm a little tired, but we'll keep on pushing through. Okay. Okay, so let's see. We have configure, security, authentication, and it was security policies, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. In the frequently required policies section, select the enable frequency required policies except for PRA auth-based authentication services checkbox to enable the frequently required security policies. Okay. um, so there we go. The fact that it went immediately to the security policies and not like show the resource URLs is a little weird. You would think that they would be putting you on the far left there, but whatever. Um, okay, so that's been checked off. Um, the enable frequently required policies option is enabled by default in Pega platform, but is disabled to facilitate this particular challenge. So they're basically saying that, hey, normally this is active, no matter what. It's already been enabled, so you shouldn't necessarily worry about it. But, you know, they wanted you to understand that, hey, this is when you need to select in order to complete this particular challenge. So, good on them. In the CAPTCHA policies section, in the enable CAPTCHA reverse Turing test module field, select enabled to enable the CAPTCHA feature. So we're looking for the CAPTCHA policies, and we want to enable the CAPTCHA reverse Turing test module. So in the enable presentation of CAPTCHA upon initial logins list, select disable to ensure that the CAPTCHA appears only after the first failed login attempt. So it needs to remain disabled there. In the probability that CAPTCHA will be presented upon authentication failures percentage field, enter 100% to ensure that CAPTCHA is always presented after the login attempt fails. So okay, configure the lockout penalty. In the lockout penalty section, in the enable authentication lockout penalty field, select enable to activate the lockout penalty. So we want to enable that. And the failed login attempts before employing authentication lockout penalty field, enter 2 to set the lockout penalty to take effect after 2 failed attempts. In the initial authentication lockout penalty in seconds field, enter 5 to set the first lockout period to 5 seconds. Subsequent lockout periods increase in 5-second increments. So So you have 2 and you have 5. Click Submit to apply the security policy updates. Wait, what? Oh, there it is. Okay. Security policies have been updated successfully. So, when you import security policies in the Pega platform instance, you may need to clear the data page that loads those settings. In Dev Studio, navigate to the Declare All Policies data page and click Load Management Clear Data Page to flush the data page. So, Dev Studio, navigate to the Declare All Data page. Hmm. Um, I guess we can probably just search for it. Okay. Click Load Management Clear Data page. Wait, what? Okay. Not sure what the heck that happened. Alright, well, okay, now we need to confirm the work. So log out of the application, Pega login screen is displayed. On the login screen in the username field, enter author Google Road. So, so we're gonna go ahead and log off. And then of course we have the author Google Road, right? So in password field, enter an invalid password. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. The information you entered was not recognized. Make a second attempt by using invalid credentials. Enter the captcha value, then click login. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you have 6B, 27E7 login failed. Alright, that was the second failure. Make a third valid login attempt to ensure that the login button is unavailable for 5 seconds. After your third login attempt, the system might display an error authentication failed message. Refresh your browser window to return to the logins page. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 25 MKF. Login. Error. Authentication failed. I'll just refresh the browser window to return to the login screen, login page. So, make a fourth invalid login attempt to ensure the login button is unavailable for 10 seconds. Huh. I mean, the login is still available there, so not quite sure what's going on there. Okay, well, apparently I need to make a, apparently I need to make a lot of, errors here to basically mm, okay. I'm not sure what's going on here. Because they say, after the third login attempt, the system might display error authentication message. Refreshing the browser window, return to the login page. But the problem is that it doesn't make the fourth login attempt show that the login button is unavailable. So not quite sure what's going on there. But we'll go ahead and, take in the password. We'll take in take in this, take in that. We'll do the login, and we'll see if we get the prompt for new password. Right. So, during application development, to prevent user lockouts, you may need to disable security policies until your application is in production. Return to the security policies landing page to disable settings. It just doesn't really matter right at this moment in time because we're never going to be using this instance again. And seeing that we kind of confirmed that, it will prompt you to change, then we're good. So everything is done there. So, but that's it. That's where we're going to go ahead and close on down for our Pega study session for today. So I hope that you appreciated this video. It's a short one, obviously. Not really much to it for the most part. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Feel free to check out, the rest of my playlist concerning the Pega certification, especially if you're trying to work your way through. Again, feel free to ask questions um, if you have any to ask. Um, and uh, like, comment, subscribe. Everything that can help me out with the YouTube algorithm, or that you know maybe you want to interact with me a little bit more concerning Pega or something along those lines. I'm always welcome to work with someone that is also um, working towards the Pega certification as well. So if that's you, then I look forward to um, continuing to work with you on that. But that's going to be it for today's session. Um, we're getting closer and closer to the end. Again, I haven't received any updates, email updates from the Pega Academy as of yet. So, but I mean, we're getting closer to the end there. Yeah, let's see, 6 more challenges. And then we got 5 more modules to get through before we get to the mission exercise and mission test. So if everything works out properly, which probably won't be, um, then we're probably talking about like another 11 hours or so to get through the um, at least 11 hours to get through the topics and the challenges. So, and then of course we got the mission exercise and the system architect test at the very end to um, test our overall knowledge about whether or not we're ready for the system architect. Um, and here's the thing. Um, you want to be absolutely confident when you go into that test, when you go into that certification, because there's going to be questions in there that are going to be very, um, they're going to have answers that are very similar to each other. So, um, you know, you're probably going to be seeing a lot of, um, you know, like head scratcher questions that, might have very, um, might have the answer, might have, well, we'll have the correct answer, obviously, but it might have some additional answers that are very close to the, um, um, you know, might be very close to um, the legitimate answer, but are not. So, oh man. Okay, but that's going to be it for today's Pega session. Uh, excuse me. I want to thank you all for joining me on today's Pega session. Hopefully you appreciated it. Um, please feel free to share it around. And we'll continue our progress through to the very end. And then well, as soon as I do the mission test, then we're going to go into full like study mode. We're going to be going into mock exams. We're going to be doing uh, rehashes of topics that I might have had some difficulties with. Um, probably tackle some of the topics that I missed answers to. Um, I'll probably go through the previous, um, you know, when you take the certification, they'll tell you like what percentages, for every section that you missed. So, you know, I may look back on my first test that I ever took and maybe rehash over some of the areas that um, I need a little bit more strength in. So, but that's it. That's where we're going to go ahead and close on down for the night. Unreal is going to be coming up in a few minutes. Not yet, but it will be. So stay right there for that. Feel free to, or if you need to, you know, use the restroom, you get a drink, get a snack, whatever, what have you. And I hope to see you all back here in just a few minutes. But we're going to go ahead and shut down the video. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully I catch you next time. But until then, take care. Have a good night. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Catch you strangers next time.